2025 was a rocky year in crypto. We started off with some highs. We had a really weird middle of the year after the Trump coin launched. We saw a big run into the back half of the year, and then it really just stalled out on the backs of stock market all-time highs, gold all-time highs. Right now, we're seeing silver pump. So in this video, I am going to give you guys my 10 predictions for 2026, and I'm going over just everything on-chain, crypto, token predictions, where I think there's going to be runs, different narratives that I think are going to run. And we're not going to jump on the computer today. It's going to be a candid video, just talking to the camera, because I think that we have to tame our expectations a little bit. This is not 2021. This is not the end of 2023. And it's definitely not meme coin mania currently. So we really have to tamper our expectations as far as altcoins. But I'm going to give you guys 10 predictions, including multiple tokens that I am going to predict that hit all-time highs in 2026. Let's jump into it. Like the video down below, guys, and subscribe to the channel for more every single day here on In the Game. We have you covered top to bottom with everything you need to win in the crypto markets and in prediction markets. And a big shout out today to our sponsors. And one of our sponsors I would absolutely suggest, and one of my predictions in this video to go farm this airdrop is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is the #1 perp dex on ZK Sync, and I think that is probably the most under-farmed opportunity of all the perp dexes. We've seen Hyperliquid airdrop, we've seen Aster airdrop, and I really do think 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 will be worth your while. So check out 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 down below in the description. Now, let's just jump into it. I'm only going to spend a little bit of time on each of these. I think some of them are self-explanatory and some of them may need a little more elaboration. So my first prediction for 2026 is, and this is one that people might not like, and I don't even know that I'm going to like it, but I think people are desperate for wins right now. And, people have said that the trenches have died. The reason is, that I think that what my prediction is going to happen is altcoins just don't do the same things as they used to. We're not seeing those numerous X's whenever Bitcoin's running and then dominance drops. It's not as easy anymore. I think that the meme coin trenches will make a small comeback in 2026. Like I said, I'm not saying that I support this, but I genuinely think that people need wins so bad that there will probably be some sort of huge multi-$100 million runner on chain that brings some attention back into the meme coin on chain sector. So that is my prediction #1, that meme coins make a small comeback. It was just a year ago when everyone was saying Fartcoin was the future of finance. Trump launched a token. We saw all these coins, Chill Guy, numerous meme coin launches that went up to almost 500 million to billions of dollars for some of these instances. So #1, I do think on-chain memes make a small comeback in 2026, whether I like it or not. That is just a prediction that I am going to make. #2 is that prediction markets will continue to imprint themselves in crypto and on-chain. We've literally seen Polymarket basically confirmed a token. So if you're trading on Polymarket, you might get an airdrop there. And the amount that Kalshi is leaning into on-chain, they obviously hired 𝗓𝗐𝗂𝗍 to lead up the crypto side, and he's one of the loudest voices on crypto Twitter. Kalshi is one of our sponsors here on the show. I absolutely love what they're doing. They're fully integrated on-chain. We're seeing Solana, the native market, partnered up with Kalshi as well, which is called Space. I do think that prediction markets are just going to continue to grow. They're honestly growing at the same rate that DraftKings, FanDuel, and all these other products did, except you can trade everything. And I do think that they're going to continue to lean into crypto, and that more crypto natives are going to start trading prediction markets by nature of this. So that is prediction #2, that prediction markets will continue to grow in popularity on chain. #3. Now, last video, we talked about what are the problems with crypto gaming, what are the prospects, how do we fix this? I think that there will be some small winners in 2026 in the crypto gaming space. This last year, we had on-chain heroes, we had Gigaverse. Those were really good on-chain crypto games, and they did very well. Currently, both of them still hold a good player base. We had Cambria doing very well. We had Fableborn launch a token recently. This is one I could get definitely hung out to dry here because, it's really hard to have any conviction in the gaming space at a high level. But I think that there's promising products like Planet X, Galaxia, these types of things. I think that there's going to be a couple of small winners, but you really have to, choose your shots. I would not be spraying across the board trying to figure out, which one of these new flashy games is going to be the big splash. But recently off the Power token launch, which is 𝗨𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏's token, which did very well and is still holding up nicely, I genuinely think there will be some small wins in the crypto gaming space for those who are still alive and paying attention. Number 4 is that, a lot of people have been upset with Trump recently. If we look at like prediction markets, every time he talks, he never mentions mention markets. He never talks about crypto or Bitcoin anymore. But I feel like there's a reason for this. I feel like he's going to pump this market hard around the times of midterms, because how did he end up getting the crypto, community to get behind him? Well, he was championing Bitcoin. And I think at the midterms, when he needs those approvals and also kind of setting up the next election for potentially J.D. Vance or whoever the case is, not to make it political, but I do think he's going to probably start propping up Bitcoin again and get those people loud and proud that they have a pro-crypto president. So I think in the middle of the year, around midterms 2026, you're probably going to see Donald Trump championing Bitcoin once again. So that is definitely something I have on my bingo card. And I would not be surprised to see him rally back up those troops, aka crypto Twitter and all the crypto junkies in the world that want to see crypto pumped at a high level. I think you definitely will see crypto in the narrative again around middle of the year during the midterm time period. This would be number 5. Number 5 is CZ will pump Binance Smart Chain and BNB ecosystem hard once again. I think that in the back half of this year, which will make sense in a second, I think in the back half of 2026, we are going to see altcoins performing pretty strong. I think, the delayed cycle thing, it's not even so much of the delayed cycle. I just think with all the factors out there, silver running, gold running, stocks are at all-time highs. Once these things do sort of fizzle out, we will see more money come back into Bitcoin. When we see more BlackRock rhetoric around what's going on with crypto and Bitcoin, I think that on-chain and I think that, certainly Bitcoin and certain altcoins will come alive. And I think that CZ, he kind of goes quiet during these time periods. He's kind of been quiet since he absolutely pumped the crap out of coins like Aster and all these different Binance Smart Chain coins. I think he's going to do it again, maybe late in the year next year. They call it Binance crime because anytime that he really gets on the mic and starts pumping something, people ape in and really get behind it. Aster did a 10x for those who got in early on this channel. So I think that he will, at the end of 2026, kind of get back on crypto Twitter. He still tweets all the time, but I think he's going to really start championing the ecosystem once again when Bitcoin starts making moves, which is my next prediction, that Bitcoin will reach new all-time highs in the back half of 2026. I could get cooked on that prediction, okay? But I really do think, like I said, Trump's going to continue to bring it up. We're going to see more movement across legislations and potentially changes in the tax system. That would be one of the major things about crypto taxes changing. But in general, I do think at the end of 2026, we should see some very good price action. And I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin hit a new all-time high close to 8 to 12 months after the typical 4-year cycle. I see a little bit of a delay in that process, given the fact of the government shutdown and the factors of other markets just running so hard, sucking up all the liquidity. And right now with the economy, people don't have free capital, and especially free capital to, in their mind, go risk it in something like cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. So if we do see the Trump stimulus or whatever the case is, any sort of continuing of lowering rates or money printing, I think that you're going to definitely see Bitcoin hit new all-time highs at the end or in the back half, the last 6 months or so of 2026. This would be number 6. The list is getting a little swayed here. I think it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7 is that you're going to continue to see more chains closing doors and shutting down shop. All these new flashy blockchains, Berachain and Monad and all these new things that come up, they raise insane VC money, But at the same time, nobody cares about these chains beyond the airdrop. And that's not even a hot take. I genuinely think that a lot of these products will be absolutely irrelevant. And we'll look back at some of these charts and some of these VC valuations in a 12 months time from now, because we'll revisit these predictions and see what we're looking at. But I think you're going to continue to see these VC money, high valuation, crazy fundraised products continue to underwhelm, because who in their right mind is going to actually go use all these products over something like Ethereum, Base Chain, Solana? These just work tremendously well. They just work. They're the tried, proven commodities of blockchain technology. So to me, like, you're not going to get the masses to switch over from all of these things, no matter how flashy your product looks, right? So that's my opinion. I think that we're going to continue to see more vapor chains completely die. On-chain metrics on this chains are going to be absolutely ugly unless these things are being manipulated. Number 8 is that I think 2026 will be a great year for airdrops. Now, one of my upcoming videos, I'm going to go over the airdrops that I would be farming in 2026. But if we look across the board, Abstract, OpenSea, we have Lighter, which is in pre-listing right now, I believe. We're going to see stuff like Gravity, which is another perps dex. There's probably 25 airdrops out there that could possibly hit in 2026. And yes, a lot of people FUD airdrops. Like, why would I go work for, $100 on this chain? And, whatever the case is, like, people see the diminishing returns in airdrops, and I can understand that. But if you put in the work genuinely across a few of these airdrops, I mean, Aster airdrop alone was fantastic. Hyperliquid, for those who were early, was absolutely incredible. Like, I think that there's still so many opportunities, and I think the sheer quantity of airdrops that we're going to see over 2026 from very mainstream products, I think is definitely going to be worth your while to have spent some time farming airdrops. So I definitely do think that 2026 will be a great year for crypto airdrops. Number 9, and here gets to the fun part. I think that the revenue meta will continue to be the go-to. Okay. Once again, these flashy chains that raise a ton of money, don't really do anything. They're not really changing the bar on anything. That's going to continue to die. And also 95% of altcoins don't even justify to be anywhere near your portfolio in 2026. But the ones that are generating real revenue with real users and that are really going all in for their community, stuff like Hyperliquid or 𝗏, which just had their halving, so the emission rate just cut in half, which I think is going to be very bullish moving forward. My prediction is, if we see Bitcoin make a strong move at the back half of 2026, like I am predicting in this video, I think you're going to see Hyperliquid and 𝗏 hit new all-time highs in 2026. That would pin Hyperliquid above $60, which at this moment of recording, it's at $25. And that would pin BitTens or 𝗏 above $800, which at the time of this recording is $221 in price. So those are my two real hot takes as far as I think we see new all-time highs on those coins. That's almost a 4x on 𝗏, and that's almost a little over a 2.5x on Hyperliquid. And people will say, well, that's not a hot take. Those are popular tokens. But given the valuation and what's going to need to happen for that to really occur, I'm going to say that I'm going out on a limb here due to the halving and also due to just people flocking to revenue buyback projects. That meta is never going to stop. And I really do think right now that whenever the market kicks back up, you're going to see strength tokens like 𝗏 and Hype turn back up. And I definitely think if Bitcoin gets back up to all-time highs, you're going to see Hype and 𝗏 hit new all-time highs. Now, that is definitely a hot take because of valuations, but I'm willing to go out on a limb. Even if we only get halfway there, that's still good returns at these current levels we're sitting at December 29th, 2025, whenever I am recording this. And then last but not least, and I think this is the philosophy one, it's my 10th prediction here. I think that 2026 is about survival. It's not going to be about timing. It's not, sure, timing matters, whatever the case is. I don't think it's going to be as overcomplicated as people think it is. When should I get back into the market? This. I think 2026 is purely about survival. Trim down the amount of tokens in your portfolio. Do not leverage trade your bag to zero. That was the whole narrative of June to December has been these perp dexes and the high-level crypto execs shoving perps down everyone's throats, saying you should, perps are great, leverage trade, yes, leverage trade on our platform, this. And look, I understand. I have a software product. We partnered with Hyperliquid. We offer leverage trading. It was a hot commodity in 2025, but it's not good for the consumer if you are not an expert. So I think 2026 is about survival. Do not get flashy. Do not think you're going to go get all your port gains on one leverage trade, 100x leverage, and then get rinsed for your entire portfolio. That's what a lot of people have done, grinded their ports down to zero because of all of the stuff and the manipulation in the markets due to perps. Every time the market's over leveraged, we've flushed. Every time that the market gets, too short, we see a scam pump. It just happens over and over and over again. The market makers are having a feast. Do not feed into the slaughter. Do not just run into the cattle field and become the next Wagyu on someone's table because they liquidated your portfolio. Okay, that is more psychological than it is a prediction. But I'm just going to say the prediction punchline for that is 2026 is about survival. That's it. Do not capitulate. Do not leave the industry. I think we're going to see a lot of good things happen by the time the back half of the year comes in 2026. And just don't overtrade and rinse yourself out. Don't hop on Pump Fund and try to catch 10K market cap runners. Like, let the trades come to you. Don't be just terminally leverage trading up and down on every single candle. You will get rinsed and you will regret it whenever crypto does make a comeback. So that is my 10 predictions for 2026. Some are simple, some are a little more out there, but I think, it's not the time period to be like, this sector is going to do 100x or, whatever the case is. Really, those days are almost gone. And there will be opportunities. There's going to be more PvE, player versus environment trades like Trump or Aster, where everyone gets a big win if you get in early. But otherwise, I don't think there's much to go out on a limb. I think the bold take is that I think Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high in 2026. I think Trump will start championing crypto around midterms. That's going to feed into a huge pump because markets need to be doing well to get his approval rates up, which is then going to stem stuff like Hyperliquid and 𝗨 to start reaching new all-time highs. I think that there's a string of events here that happen to make these predictions come to fruition. But I want to know you guys' opinion. What do you think is going to happen? What is your hot take in crypto in 2026? Is there something on my list that you agree with that maybe you're really on board with, or maybe that you disagree with? I want to hear all the opinions down below in the comment section. And I'll see you guys on the next video. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel down below, trade responsibly, and stay bullish, my friends.